All right, Golf Clash or Playdemic has announced the new Monster Marsh tournament, and they've got this listed down here. It's going to start on Monday, and they've got it listed with the Monster Marsh holes. So when I first looked at this, I was like, "Oh, we got some new holes," and then I came back and was really looking at these holes, and these are the Sunshine Glade holes. Now, what they've done in the past for like the Ghostly Glades and those is they've kind of themed the holes and did some color on them and stuff. But the holes, for the most part, there may be a tree here or there may be something, but we're basically looking at the Sunshine Glade holes. I've never done well in the tournaments where they've done these theme things because the colors are all off. They got blues and greens, and I've never done well on them. I've done good, but I haven't. I don't like the color changes. So I set up a playlist on YouTube for Golf Clash Monster Marsh Tournament Rookie Scouting, and if you go through here, you're gonna see some. I'll put this video right here at the top, and then just go through, and it'll be the holes in the order that we're actually playing them, so you can kind of get an idea of some of the playthrough from them. So those are from past tournaments. So let's go to Chrome. So get out a piece of paper and a pencil. Start your notes up. Oh, wait. All right. All you have to do is pause. So here's the order. Monster Marsh hole number 1 is actually hole number 2 in Sunshine Glades. Monster Marsh hole number 2 is actually hole number 7. Monster Marsh hole number 3 is hole number 3 of Sunshine Glades. Hole number 4 of Monster Marsh is hole number 1 of Sunshine Glades. Hole number 5 of Monster Marsh is hole number 6 of Sunshine Glades. Hole number 6 of Monster Marsh is hole number 5 of Sunshine Glades. Hole number 7 of Monster Marsh is hole number 4 of Sunshine Glades. Hole number 8 of Monster Marsh is hole number 8 of Sunshine Glades. And hole number 9 of Monster Marsh is hole number 9 of Sunshine Glades. So we'll have to go through in this order. So hole number 1, what looks like hole number 1 of Monster Marsh, is this par 3 right here. Now, I'm a big fan. Okay, first of all, if you watch my videos on a regular basis, I usually like to start the week. I know like from watching previous videos kind of like what the game plan is coming in here, but I like to work these holes. I like to start here, and I like to continue to work the hole as the week goes on and try and get better and better and better and better at the hole. I don't like to come in and go and start hitting hole-in-ones right off the bat, because what'll happen is that you don't get a lot of hole-in-ones on a hole like this. So you start the week off and you got it all dialed in, and then as the week goes down, you start going downhill instead of uphill. So I usually like to come in and really practice to begin with. So my order of preferences is, my first thing is I want to make sure I got my distance right. And then I want to start hitting perfect shots so that I can adjust for the wind. So I need to get my distance right, and then I need to make sure I hit perfect shots so that I can work on my wind adjustments. And so on this particular hole, just like from the last tournament it was in, there's some basic notes. Guardian Navigator. I'm in really kind of in minimum club, but I was using a max wind adjustment. So minimum club it should be somewhere in the 1.5 to 1.7 range with the Guardian, and I was actually hitting 1.2. So I was hitting my maximum number even though I was at minimum club, and that's basically a wind adjustment. And then I was adding on 10%, and I was going straight at it. Now when I play these par 3s, you may have a better shot of hitting from over here and dribbling your ball up and getting a hole in one. But you also cannot deny that you have a better shot of overdriving and ending up in this rough, or having something happen because of the distance that you are from the hole and ending up out in here, or ending up something happening. If you get some lag, or if your finger slips or something happens and you're over here, you could be in trouble. And I'm not a big fan of getting pars on par threes. I'm not a big fan of taking any risks at all on par threes. So my goal is to hit right here with a Guardian and backspin that sucker into the hole. Now, if you've got lower developed clubs, you're not going to be able to do that. So if you've got lower developed clubs and you don't have a Guardian that's got 5 or 6 backspin, you're probably going to have to start over here and work your way up. The other thing you could do is, if you had a club that only had 4 to 5 backspin and you thought it wasn't enough, is you could start off over here to the right a little bit. It's going to put your ball guide this way and you could add some curl. But as we all know, that when you say the word curl in any shot, that means that shot's chances of getting in the hole have been diminished. So if you've got upper developed clubs, you can go straight at it from right here. If you don't, then you will have to do the bounce over. But if you've got the clubs to do it from over here, it's always better to start off. The closer you can start off to the pin, the better off you're going to be. So on this hole right here, I'm definitely, in my upper level accounts, I'm definitely going to go for it. In my low level account, I'm probably going to have to shoot it from over here. And if with a navigator, my wood red line's like right in here. So this is minimum club, minimum wood, and this is going to be max long iron. So any long iron is going to work here. I'll probably bring my Saturn. You could bring a Saturn or a backbone. Backbone's going to be a lot more accurate, and you're going to be able to feed it up in there. You probably have to put a little bit of topspin on it. And so either one of those clubs will work. I mean, any of the long irons will work, but whichever one has great ball guide, that's definitely the one, and good accuracy. So it's probably going to be backbone. All right, that was hole number 1 of Monster Marsh. Hole number 2 of Sunshine Glades. Hole number 2 of Monster Marsh is going to be hole number 7. So this is hole number 2. All right, hole number 2, hole number 7. Call this the duck hole. See the little duck? Now there's several ways that you can play this, but I'm going to explore this hole because I played this hole in several tournaments, and that was, let's see, which tournaments it's been in, Ghost of Glades, and I've played it just a few times, but I actually haven't played this hole a lot. So when the hole first came out, if you bring a big ball and you do max overpower, you can land in this area right here. And this is the benefit of bringing a bigger ball here, is that you can come out and you can hit into this area, which is really thin. I mean, your gold ring is pretty much the entire area right there, so you have to hit it perfect. And you can try and bring the ball directly up to the hole. And anytime you can get on a green on a par 4, I mean, that's awesome. But that's very risky. And it's a low percentage shot just because you got to max overpower, and you got to hit it perfect. And then even if you hit it perfect, you're going to have to hit that shot several times perfect in order to figure out with your club what kind of top spin, back spin, side spin that it's going to take to get through this narrow little neck. I mean, look at the green. Look at all of the fairway out here. And the narrowest part of this entire deal is right here. And we're trying to hit a max overpower shot from here to get through this little teeny area. So it can be tricky. The other way you can do it is you can get out into this area. And if you draw a line, coming through so that you've got a wide open mouth. But if you look on the green, you're going to see that there's a mogul right here, and there's a mogul right here, and there's a mogul right here. There's a trough coming in here. So this other side looks good. So if you're coming at it, if you short shoot up into this area and you lay it up and you're out here, you're going to be a long iron coming in. And you're not going to be able to run it across the green. It's probably, you're probably better off doing a little bit of backspin. But I think even a backbone or Saturn, any of them will work as long as they got a little. If you can get up into this depression that's on the course up here, you're going to be more into your short iron range. And you can come at it with pretty much any. I think in the shot that I demo here, I had a Hornet, and you can get it done there. But the Hornet did catch the backside of this. I made a bad wind adjustment in that video, and so that was part of the deal. I was in between mid and max club, and I made a minimum wind adjustment. I was daydreaming, I guess. So up here is short iron, back here is long iron. You can hit from here and try and get up and try and get on the green. There's a couple other shots that I want to explore on this. I want to know, like, I'm going to work on this shot and see if there's if I can. It's just it's a tricky thing. You've got to hit it perfect. And when you're doing max overpower, you can have all of the best of intentions, but you're not going to hit those perfect every time just because you're in max overpower. But I want to explore the shot, like if I can get up here, like maybe I can get here with my big topper. And maybe I could land out in this area. You got a nice little run up here. This is going to be more in probably your minimum short iron. And that may be a higher percentage shot. Like if you hit out here and you're on, hey, woo! I mean, that's awesome. But if you hit out here and you're only on 20% of the time, but you can hit out here with a big topper and end up in this area right here and you have a minimum short iron, I'm going to make that minimum short iron quite often. So I think there's stuff that I can explore out here, and I'm going to bring some different clubs. Now that we have multiple bags, we can come out here and we can see what a club looks like and then switch to a different bag and see what that club looks like. But I'm going to explore some stuff out here that I didn't do in the past, just to see if there's some other ways that you could come from over here and try and bring the ball back out here to get somewhere into these depressions right here. Because this is a nice wide open shot, and you're away from the mogul, so you can run it up to the hole. But you have some options here. Most people are going to hit out here. This is the safe play. If you got lower developed clubs, this is definitely the safe play. Just hit out here, get on, move on to the next hole. Okay, hole number 3 of the Monster Marsh is hole number 3 of the Sunshine Glades. All right, there's really this hole right here. There is a really good albatross shot here. I like this hole, and you do have a shot at it now. And I think what I demoed here, I had a QB. I used my accurate bag. I used a QB, and I used a sniper. I like those clubs on this hole, and you're coming from this island, coming out into here, and then going up towards the green. A couple things. This island, it looks like this. Okay, and it rolls over all the way around. There's a little pad up here at the top. There's a area up here that's flat, and everything else is going downhill all the way around. So when you're here, don't push yourself up against the edge of that. I'm thinking of, normally if you watch my videos, I always say to be 2 rings off of any transitional surface. And so you'd be 2 rings off of this. No, I want to look at the course and say, here's where it's flat. And I want to be 2 rings off of that. Because this really is the transitional surface. Because what happens is if you get caught down here halfway down on it, it's going to take a flat bounce. If you've ever played this hole and you're like, why did I end up in the rough over here? What the heck happened? Or you're here and it digs down into the front. You got over the top of that ridge. Here was the flat area, and you hit over here and then just threw the ball straight forward. And it's about this steep. It is steep. So the drive is really easy if you stay out here in the middle. Now I used a quasar in the demo shot that's in here, so you can use any ball. I'm probably in the weekend round or in the tournament going to use a katana. And I'm going to use a katana for a couple reasons. Number 1, it's got 3 side spin, and it'll help me out on the drive. And number 2, it'll help cut the wind down on the second shot, and it'll give me a little bit more power so that I'll be deeper in on the second shot. My goal is to hit into these shadows. I want to be way over here. And the reason I want to be way over there is if you draw a line from the pin, from the biggest part of the mouth, this biggest part of the green here where you're running up to the hole, and you draw that line out, that line goes right through that shadow. So if you're over here and you're coming into the green, you're going to have to bring the ball like this. So you have to use side spin to bring the ball. Whereas here you're hitting a straighter shot. Now why does that make a difference? And here's the flagpole, and here's the green. There's a ridge that runs kind of like this, and it's going downhill over here, and it's kind of flat right here. It's just flat. So this side of the green is kind of flat, and this side over here runs downhill. So if you're over here and you're coming in, you're having to engage it where you're engaging part of that hill, trying to bring it to the hole. If you're out here in the shadows, you're hitting more and out at the flat. So you're not having to engage this hill as much. I mean, that might seem kind of small and technical, but the whole deal is that if I don't have to, the less I have to worry about the ball dropping because it's on this hill, the better off I'm going to be. And anytime I can open up a green by getting, the difference is as far as distance, like if you can get this distance or this distance, you may be the same from the hole and you still have a great shot coming in here, but I just think that, that angle is just a little bit better. And when you're doing and this drive is a layup shot, so if you're going to lay it up, why wouldn't you lay it up into the absolutely best spot that you can? It doesn't take that much more effort. It just takes, making sure that your shot setup puts you out here. All right, that was hole number 3. Hole number 4 of the the Monster Marsh is going to be hole number 1 of Sunshine Glades. I'm excited about this hole because I worked really hard to get my rock maxed out, and I want to see what my rock can do on this hole. But normally what I do on this hole is I play it with a QB and a Kingmaker. And you can do it with the Titan. I use the Kingmaker because it gives me a little more side spin and it gives me what I think is a little bit better shot at hole-in-one. But you still have to put on that dreaded word curl on it in order to bring it around to the hole. So anytime you add curl into a shot, it's a huge variable, and it's repeatable in the fact that you can get on the green every time and make a putt and get out of here. But it's like to go for the hole-in-one is a roll of the dice. So I'm going to be landing out in here. I want to be 2 rings off of this transitional surface. I'm going to kind of balance it out where I've got on as much backspin and as much left-hand side spin as I can. So my second bounce is right here on the other side. And I want to leave enough, if you think about the arc of our shot, I want to leave enough so that when I add the curl in the ball, so this is where the ball guide's aiming, and then I add curl and it brings it over to here, that this second bounce is still past the sand. I see people shut this shot up all the time and they're just barely off, and then they add on curl. Well, when you add in the arc, now you're in the sand. So you got to make sure that your second bounce is far enough ahead out here so that when you add on the curl, it'll still clear the sand over on this side. This hole right here, you have to get an eagle on. If you want to have any shot at the top of the bracket, you have to get an eagle on this par 4. I mean, this isn't an option. There's going to be too many people at the top that are going to end up eagling this hole both times, and it's not hard. Okay? If you're in rookie, you can come at it with a QB. You can use your extra mile, but you've got to have probably at least 3 backspin, and you can do a very similar shot. And I think my opponent in the video does a very similar shot. If you're in upper divisions, the best way to come at it is with the rough bump. Let's think what I would do if I was lower developed. I have lower developed clubs. I've got a quarterback in my lower developed count, but I'm not sure how much backspin it has, so I may have to start it off a little bit farther out this way and add on a little bit more curl. And even if I just dribble up into here, it's going to be a very easy chip. But I'll have to play it in my low level account and kind of work out the math on it. But I'm probably still going to be coming here with a QB and a Kingmaker. All right, hole number 5 of the Monster Marsh is hole number 6 of Sunshine Glades. So I actually wish I'd looked for the video, and I know the last time that we played this hole in tournaments, I think it was in my practice account, and I didn't. I'm not sure where the videos went for this hole, but I actually changed how I'm playing this hole. So in the past, and I think in the video that I posted here, because I couldn't find the ones that I was looking for, what I've done is I've come at this with a fairly good size ball. It was a 3 power ball. And I'm trying to get out into this area out here where you're doing a max overpower shot and you're bringing out into this area and you're coming out with your long iron. And this is traditionally, I mean, it gives you a decent shot for Albie. But we're going for Albie. So 3 power ball, going out here, trying to get it. The wind has traditionally on this hole been with us. So we're hitting, you know, on the drive shot, it's helping us out. We'll have to see what the wind is in this tournament. But the last time I played this hole, I switched this up, and I'm actually hitting out here, trying to come out into this area to get out here, because this is a long iron shot, and this is a short iron shot. And I would rather come in with a short iron than a long iron, because I'm a lot more accurate with a short iron. I sink a lot more shots with a long iron than I do, or a short iron than I do with a long iron. So I think this week, I know this shot out here, but I'm going to work on this shot this week where you're coming from here and trying to get out into this area. And it's really a big, making sure that you don't over top spin it so that you don't end up getting out into the rough or the sand out here. But I'm going to be trying to lay up out here so that I can approach the green with a short iron. And I'm not sure, I'll have to do in practice and come out here and hit this hole a few times so that I can work out the numbers on this shot. But I'm going to explore this shot. But most people that you're going to see out there are going to take this shot right here, and this puts you in long iron range. Now, you can do the shot that we do in one-on-one where you just lay up right here. Because if you've got lower developed clubs and you don't want to bring out a big ball, you lay up right here. You need to bring, you can do this with a Viper, and you're going to hit towards the hole. You don't have to get all the way out there, but the farther out there you can get, the better. But it doesn't have to be, you don't even have to be close. You can be 10 yards off of that rough. You don't have to push the limits. You just want to be out into this area. And you may need to bring a little bit bigger ball so that you can bounce on this fairway and then bring it up. But if you've got lower developed stuff, this layup shot out here is going to be a very easy way to get onto this hole. And you can do this layup shot out here with your accurate bag. You can bring a QB and do the layup out here, low risk, get on the hole with your Viper, move on down the road. All right, that was hole number 5 of the Monster Marsh. Hole number 6 of Monster Marsh is going to be hole number 5 of Sunshine Glades. All right, this par 3 right here. If you're in upper divisions, boy, this hole right here can kick your butt. It can be very tough, especially if you've got a headwind here. This hole is rough, and you're playing expert, masters, even with pro, because you're going to have to come at it from out here. The thing I don't like about a lot of the shot setups is that people come out here and then they set this is their entire ring set. And then the next time they get there, where was that spot? There's no identifiable mark out here. So where is that spot? So the next time you come, you're in this spot. And the next time you come, you're in this spot. And so it's very easy to get, it can be very inconsistent. So if you like shooting the shot from over here, you know, pick a spot, wedge your white rings up against the sand. You know, pick some spot so that at least next time when you come to the hole, the very first thing you do is you put your white rings up against the sand, and then you adjust out for your backspin, side spin, whatever else that you're going to do. But have some identifiable mark. Put your white ring over here and then you're curling it in, however you want to do it. But have something as opposed to just being out here in the middle, because it's hard to replicate that. I like to come at this hole with a sniper and a katana. Let me make sure. What hole are we on here? Hole number 6. Hole number 6. Sniper and a katana. And I like to come in right here. This is really only possible in rookie, unless you want to bring a monster ball if you're in the upper divisions. You can, I put my blue rings where I wedge my blue rings entirely in this spot. Right there. I'm balancing out as much backspin, as much left-hand side spin as I possibly can to get the ball coming from this area, and it looks like it's going in this, and then I'm going to put on just a little teeny bit of curl to cover the distance. But I like to start into this area right here. And as long as you make a great wind adjustment, and I'm doing a full, and then one of the reasons to bring a QV is because it's 1 per ring, so it's pretty easy to make a wind adjustment. But I like to come at this with a QB and a katana from this area right here. All right, that was hole number 6 of the Monster Marsh. So hole number 7 of Monster Marsh is hole number 4 of Sunshine Glades. Now, okay, you want to get on the green in 1. Big top Titan. And there's one other thing that you have to bring. A perfect shot. Because if you don't bring perfect, you're going to end up either in the water or in the sand. And more than likely, you're going to end up in the water. So this is how it goes. You're going to bring a big Titan, a big topper, a Titan, and some water. Or you're going to bring a big topper, a Titan, and hit it perfect. Those are your 2 choices if you're going for this shot. And what you're going to do is you're going to bounce from here to here and dribble it out on the green. Now I have found that if you're using a big topper, you can use 1 to 1.5 less than max topspin. You don't have to put all the topspin on. If you put all the topspin on, you'll roll off the back. It doesn't take max topspin. It takes just a little bit less. When you're coming onto this island, if this is the pony that you've picked, you come into here, you want to be right dead center. And I don't want to use any side spin in my shot. Because here's the deal. Side spin doesn't engage until it hits here. All right? So let's say you're right dead center in the middle here, and you hit it 1 ring great to the left or the right. Then you are absolutely going to miss if you put side spin on there, because you hit it 1 ring great to the left, the side spin engaged, and you're definitely going for a drink. You're over here and you hit it 1 ring great to the right, and the side spin engages, and then you're definitely going to end up somewhere over here. Or you're going to end up, what it'll do is it'll hit, and you could still end up in the drink. So I don't want to use any side spin at all. I want to hit the ball straight, and if I hit a great to the left or the right and it went straight, I could maybe catch on either side. It's very unlikely. But I want to take that side spin variable out and not use any side spin at all, and I want to go right dead center into the middle of this fairway. I want to give myself as much room as I can on the left or the right. And you're trying to hit here and then dribble right up to the green. That's shot number 1. As risky as that shot is, I see a lot of people where they're trying to get up into this area to do the chip in. And I see more people do this and fail. They end up in the rough, or they end up in the sand, or they end up in the drink, or they end up, something happens, because it's difficult to get up here. It's more difficult to get up in here than it is taking the shot with a big topper. It boils down to you got to hit perfect. If you hit perfect, it goes up on the green, and you got to putt, and you're out of here. If you don't hit it perfect, you're in trouble. This shot over here, trying to get up here, is very difficult. In one-on-one play, I play this hole, and especially when I go first, I play this hole to let my opponent make their mistake. And I lay up right there. In one-on-one play, I always lay up right here. And then from here, I can get onto the green. I think it's, I can't remember what club it is. It might be a wood. It might be a sniper shot or a guardian. But if you've got lower developed clubs, just lay up right here. You don't have to be all risky. If you don't feel comfortable doing the big topper shot trying to get over, just lay up right here. Just get down on the end of this pad so that you're on this side of the tree. So you're on this side of the trees. And then you've got a nice little shot where you can run it up right straight up to the hole. And there's very little risk here, and you gave yourself a great shot. Okay, this shot from over here is difficult, and it's difficult to get to that spot, and then it's difficult to get on. So if I'm going to do this shot, I'm probably going to do the bounce over and try and get on 1. So in my mind, as risky as it is, I'm probably going to go the big topper shot trying to get on in my main account. In my lower level account, I'm just going to do the layup. And guess what happens if on your first shot here you make an epic fail and you end up in the water? Your second shot has to be the same exact thing, because now you really need to get the eagle, because the eagle will save your birdie. You'll get birdie just because you got on the second time. So you have to go, if you pick a dangerous shot like this and you epic fail the first time, I see this happen. Somebody does this shot right here and they epic fail and they end up in the water. And then they come back and they pick out and they set it all up, and then they go, hey, I'm going to lay it up out here and be safe. Are you kidding me? You just dropped the shot. This shot's not going to help you. Now you have to go back here and hope that you can get on, which is what your original goal was, and hit that shot, because now you got birdie. Now you can't lay up after you've already tried to go for it and you epic failed. You got to go for it again. So we do have some options on this hole. But I think really, if you've got lower developed stuff or you don't feel comfortable with it, just doing the layup shot out here is absolutely safe. Absolutely safe. Get on, and you still got a shot. All right, that was hole number 7 of Monster Marsh. Hole number 8 of Monster Marsh is hole number 8 of Sunshine Glades. Once again, we got a par 3. And once again, par 3s ain't messing around. You can do the bounce over from here. You can do the bounce over and run it up in there, but I'm going to start on this side right here, and I'm going to go straight at it with a Guardian. I'm doing about 6 backspin, which you can also get done if you've got an upper developed sniper. Another thing that you can do if you really don't like this shot out here is you can start back in here and you can bring it around this way, and you can put on side spin and curl, and you can bring it around so that you're on this side. That takes out this rough, this sand, this water, this sand, this rough, and you can start over here and you can bring it back around. So if you go, hey, I just don't have quite enough backspin to start on a straight line, move it over to the left a little bit, the fairway's deeper, and then you can either apply more side spin or a little bit of curl to bring it back around to the hole. But once again, I'm a big fan of taking traps out of play on a par 3, so why would I put all of this stuff into play when I can start off over here and go straight out the hole? And I think my chances of getting a hole-in-one if I dial this in as the week goes on are just as good as somebody playing over here. But I don't have all of these epic fails in between me and the cup. On my notes, I got a Guardian nav, about 6 backspin. I think in the shot that I demoed, I didn't put quite enough backspin on it, so it needs about 6. And I was doing a 10% wind adjustment. All right, hole number 9 of the Monster Marsh is hole number 9 of Sunshine Glades. All right, let's talk about one-on-one. One-on-one I hit over here all the time because who wants to bring out the big ball to get over into this area? If you hit over here, and you have to get here. So I mean, we draw the line. You know how it works if you've played this. If you're like up into this area right here, it is every bit. If you brought a sniper or a Guardian, and a Guardian doesn't have a lot of topspin, so it's not helping you, but if you've got those 2 clubs in your bag, it's every bit to get up in there. So if we draw a line here from the tee box to that area, and then we draw the arc for our clubs, you know, there may be a spot out here that you could lay up and try and come at it with a big dog. Myself, on this particular hole, in the past, I've always tried to get way up in here. Okay? And if you get way up in here, let's look at our angles. Real quick. If you hit over here, it's probably best to bring a big dog. Or if you've got an upper developed sniper that's got lots of topspin and got its power, you could probably get it done. But you're going to need a big ball. If you've got lower developed stuff, this is a great shot out here. You can come at it with your extra mile, a Titan. You want to bring a big ball. It's a par 5, big, and you're going to bring a big dog. Anytime you have a big dog in your bag, you need to bring the biggest ball you have. Why did you bring the big dog? Because you need distance. Okay? And what's the second way you can get distance? Bigger ball. So if you're going to hit out here on a par 5, you need to bring as big a ball as you can if you're going to bring your big dog. So in the past, I see most people try and hit out into this area. Now let's look at some angles. If you hit out in, let's draw a line on this rough. Okay? So if you're on this side of the line, you can have a look. You're opening up the mouth here to the green. If you're on this side of the line, you're really trying to push the limits, or you're way up here in the front. If you're way up here in the front, your shot at the green is going to be like this. So that means that you're going to need something that you can start your bounce right here and then come to a stop by the time you get to the green. So you're probably going to need something with backspin. So in this case, if you were trying to hit way up here at the front, you know, if you're up in this area, you're going to need, you know, you should probably bring some backspin clubs. You should probably bring your Guardian and your Saturn and your Claw or your Thorn. And that way when you're coming at it, because you've shortened, you don't have a big mouth here coming into the green. So in the past, I played with it. I played up here and went for that, and it's kind of risky to get all the way up in here, and then you got a backspin shot. And backspin shots are very inconsistent. Like if you're just doing like one or two backspin and trying to roll a ball into the hole, that's one thing. But when you're trying to do a bunch of backspin and trying to get it to suck back to the hole, those shots can be very inconsistent. You find yourself close all the time. Like, I'm always close. Yeah, we're always close when we do those type of shots. But it's hard to get in. So the last few times I played this hole, I've decided to change how I'm going to play it, because I think my chances of getting the Albie are greater with a higher accuracy ball guide club than with a backspin club. So what I've been doing is laying up out into this area out here, and I don't want to get, I want to get somewhere on this side of the line. And what that does is that when I come into the green, if I get out into this area right here, when I'm coming into the green, I can come straight at it with my sniper. Very little side spin, just pretty much a straight in shot. I mean, a little bit of side spin, but it's a max sniper shot with very little side spin adjustment. And just trying to dial that ball guide right up to the hole and then hit perfect. So the shot that I'm going to be exploring this week is the one right here where I'm putting myself into my sniper range so that I can use one of the most accurate clubs in my bag that's got some of the best ball guide that I've got, and try and bring that ball to the hole. And you can use any three sides or any three power ball. And I'm not sure in the video whether I used a Titan or whether I used a Kingmaker. And I'm not using the Kingmaker for the side spin. I'm using the Kingmaker so that I need a 3 power ball, and on the second shot, that 3 wind helps. So there may be some better balls out there with some of the special balls where we can use a 3 side spin ball that may give us low wind, like a Kingmaker X or something like that. But I'm not sure that this hole justifies bringing out a Kingmaker X where we've got lower wind. I think just a regular Kingmaker will work, but a Titan will get you out there too. But you definitely want to bring a 3 power ball. All right, so that was just kind of a walkthrough. Go into YouTube. Where are we at here? Go into YouTube and you can search let's see how it works. In my playlists, you can go recently added, and the first one on there should be the Monster Marsh. And I put 9 videos in. And don't worry about the thing, just watch them from beginning to end. And they're in the right order for the holes that we're playing. All right, that was just kind of a scouting report, basic walkthrough for the Monster Marsh. And I'm not sure, because of how they've done it, I'm not sure if they've changed anything on the holes. They've probably themed them, so they're probably going to be different colors, and there's probably going to be other stuff. They mentioned alligators, and I have no idea what else they're going to do on it, but it looks to me like those are the holes. All right, thanks for watching.